Kyle Larson just gave NASCAR fans a real look into how he's thinking about the end of his career. And it's not what you'd expect from a two-time champion still racing at the top level. He's talking about age 40, he's talking about his kids, and he's walking away from a goal he once said he wanted badly. Let's get into what he actually said. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation News is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. So here's the big one. Kyle Larson has shared new details about how he plans to decide when to retire from the NASCAR Cup Series. And the biggest factor, it's not stats, it's not sponsors, it's not championships, it's his family. That's what he told Motorsport Tom in an interview in late July of 2026. Now, Larson isn't setting a hard date for retirement. Instead, he's picked age 40 as his next milestone. Here's exactly how he put it. I started saying this last year, but 40 is my next milestone. I want to get there and then evaluate if I want to keep going or be done. It all depends on where my kids are in their lives and interests. So notice what he's saying there. 40 isn't a finish line, it's a checkpoint. He's going to get there and then look around at his life before deciding anything. Now here's an important piece of context that makes this whole conversation even more interesting. Back in February, Larson signed a 5-year contract extension with Hendrick Motorsports. That deal locks him in with the team all the way through the 2031 NASCAR Cup Series season. So this isn't a driver whose future is uncertain in the short term. He's committed to Hendrick for years to come. The retirement talk is about what happens beyond that contract, not before it. And when it comes to family, Larson laid out exactly why his kids matter so much to this decision. He and his wife Caitlin have 3 children, Owen, Audrey, and Cooper. Owen and Audrey are already racing in youth events, and Cooper is getting close to the age where he'll start too. Larson made it clear that his kids' schedules and interests are going to come first from here on out. In fact, he said he won't be adding more races to his own calendar because of it. Now let's talk about the second major reveal from this interview. And this one might surprise longtime fans. Kyle Larson has officially changed his mind about chasing a full-time sprint car championship. This matters because earlier in his career, Larson had actually suggested he might step away from full-time NASCAR Cup Series competition before turning 40 specifically to go chase that sprint car title. That was the plan for a while, but that plan is off the table now. Here's why, in his own words. As far as competing for a sprint car championship, I would say right now in 2026 that I have changed my mind on that. I feel like I have accomplished a lot since I made those comments. I've been able to win 3 Knoxville Nationals, 3 Chili Bowls, and a King's Royal. So basically, he already feels like he's checked the boxes he needed to check in dirt racing. 3 Knoxville Nationals wins, 3 Chili Bowl Nationals wins, a King's Royal win. That's one of the strongest dirt racing resumes of any active NASCAR driver, and Larson feels like a championship wouldn't really add much on top of that. He went even further, explaining the scheduling reality of it too. I just don't know what a championship would add to my career, so I'm just not into the idea now. And like I said, I think my kids are going to be busy doing their own racing by that time, so do I really want to commit to an 80 to 90 race schedule? That's way busier than I am now. An 80 to 90 race sprint car schedule on top of his NASCAR Cup Series commitments. That's a massive time investment. And with his own kids getting more and more involved in racing themselves, Larson is choosing to prioritize being present for that instead. Now let's shift to where Larson stands in his current NASCAR Cup Series season, because this is where the retirement comments take on a little extra weight. After winning his second NASCAR Cup Series championship back in 2025, Larson has gone without a victory through the early and middle portions of the 2026 season. By late July, he had gone more than 45 races since his last win, which came at Kansas Speedway back in May of 2025. That's officially the longest winless stretch of his entire Hendrick Motorsports career. But here's the thing. Despite that winless stretch, Larson and his crew chief Cliff Daniels have kept things steady. They've continued to deliver consistent finishes, and the article makes clear the focus has been on performance rather than obsessing purely over results. And Larson's own words really sum up where his head is at right now. I just feel like I have a really good balance in my schedule this year, and I'm enjoying that. But you never know. And 6 or 7 years down the road, things might change. So let's recap where this all lands. Kyle Larson has 26 NASCAR Cup Series victories with Hendrick Motorsports, 2 NASCAR Cup Series championships, and a stacked dirt racing resume, including those 3 Knoxville Nationals wins, 3 Chili Bowl wins, and a King's Royal. He's under contract with Hendrick through 2031. He's stepping back from the Sprint Car Championship pursuit. And he's treating age 40 not as a retirement date, but as a checkpoint to reevaluate everything based on where his family is at. So here's a question for you guys watching. Do you think Kyle Larson will still be racing full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series past age 40, or do you think family life pulls him away sooner than that? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed breaking this one down with me, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to NASCAR Nation News, and I'll see you in the next one.